All right, cool. So if I and can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Right, awesome. All right. So if I'm to understand correctly, the question that that some of the top leaders that are on with us right now are trying to understand is the legality of what we're doing. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. Well, first of all, we do crowdfunding, and as everybody should know, crowdfunding is 100% legal on all 7 continents and every country in the world. So what we're doing is 100% legal everywhere, no matter where you're doing it. Secondly, the way we are doing it is also 100% legal in every country in the world. We've been doing it for 16 years, so it's not like we're just getting started doing this right now. We've been doing it for 16 years. We've been doing it very, very well for 16 years. We're in over 150 countries. So far, we've helped over over 670, actually closing in on 680,000 people right now. And 50/50 is new, but the process that we're using is the same as what we did before. We just did some enhancements to it, revamped it a little bit. And for those of you that have any concerns as to the legality of what we're doing, you can do what thousands of other people have already done, and that is 2 things. You can, search the internet and find out whether or not crowdfunding is legal or not, and you'll find that it is. And the second thing that you can do is you can ask your lawyers. And so far we've had, just in this short period of time, we've had dozens of people who have inquired with their independent legal, they've got their own independent legal advice, and every lawyer that they've spoken to has all said that what we're doing is 100% legal. Go forth and multiply.
Okay, fantastic. I'm now recording, so I need to put everybody on mute first of all, so everybody can then hear me. Okay, everybody's on mute. So welcome everybody. My name is Colin Simmons. I live in Birmingham in the United Kingdom. Thank you, Blessing. That tells me you can hear me. Thank you very much. My job today this morning is really to just explain to you all what came my way only less than 2 months ago. So less than 2 months ago, a friend of mine came to me and said, Colin, I know you're busy online, but I need you to stop what you're doing. I need you to have a look what's landed on my desk, because it's very, very different to anything I've seen before. He knows that I'm a very busy man, and time is of the essence. Because it was him, I said, okay, tell me more. What is it you've got to share with me? And all he said to me was, if I could show you how we can create an income for you instantly, would you be willing to take a look? So when somebody says that, I said, yes, tell me more. He said, I'm not going to explain it to you. All I need you to do is to watch an 8-minute video. He said, when can you watch this 8-minute video? I said, great, send it to me now, I'll watch it right now. It's only 8 minutes. So he sent me the video, which hopefully anybody that's involved in 50/50 has seen the 8-minute video. When I saw that, I thought, wow, now I need to know more about this. So we spoke straight after that, and he explained a bit more, and I thought, okay, fantastic. Now, the way I'm thinking is, I know lots of other people that will want to see that video, but I don't want to be the one to explain it. So I got started myself. In fact, I started at level 4, which I'll explain as we go along, at the $250 level. By the end of that same day, I'd received in donations over $750. Well, it was $750. And my time in multi-level marketing, home-based business, I'd never seen anything like that. So I took it on myself to say, I need to explain this to more people, which is why I'm happy to be here explaining what I've seen with this whole platform that I'm going to talk about now. So my plan now is to really just run through a handful of slides that will take me about 35 minutes. And hopefully by the end of that, everybody will have a better understanding of exactly what's happening across the globe. And believe me, this is happening right across the globe like a tidal wave. Timing could not be better for what I'm going to share with you. Hey everybody, welcome. As I say, I'm here today to explain to you about an opportunity that came my way. But firstly, I need to talk about the industry itself, which is crowdfunding. Because this is an industry that I'd seen before, because I donated to people once I saw their cause. And I thought, yep, I want to help that person. So I've actually donated to somebody in the past. Once I do a little bit of research on crowdfunding as an industry, you find there are lots and lots of startup companies. Lots of these are really only formed in the last few years, really. As the power of social media has increased, more and more people are connected via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all different social platforms. The whole industry of crowdfunding has actually rocketed. Now, in front of you on the screen, I'm showing you a whole list, and there will be more than just these. But on this list, even before I started in this business, I'd already heard of the top one there, GoFundMe. That probably is one of the biggest platforms on the globe today in the crowdfunding space. As I say, now this is a perfect example of how people can use GoFundMe. The young lady I'm showing you here is a rhythmic gymnast from the UK. Now, she qualified for the England team to represent England in the Commonwealth Games in Australia. Now, she qualified, but yet she still hadn't got the funds to get from the UK to Australia. So what did she do? She set herself up with a GoFundMe page, which is free to do, telling her story of how she's qualified and how she really wants to get to Australia. From doing that, she's managed to raise £2,448 in 9 months of promoting her page. 85 people had actually donated to her. So only 85 people, she managed to raise £2,448. That, to me, is quite special. Another key point about this page is that you can see at the bottom that she's got a share on Facebook, she's got a share on Twitter. In fact, her page has been shared 650 times. That is the power of social media. That is the power of people helping people. Now, this isn't unusual. There are lots and lots of examples of this happening all over the place. This young lady is someone I personally know, and this young lady is someone I actually helped get herself, again, across to Australia for the Commonwealth Games. And at that time, I didn't really know too much about crowdfunding, apart from donating. And again, the facts for her, she's had her page up and running for 11 months. 38 people have actually helped her as well. She's raised over £2,000. And again, you can see how often this has been shared, 446 times. So that tells me that crowdfunding is definitely huge. Now, you will have people that will tell you that crowdfunding is illegal, that you're not allowed to do it across the globe. Now, let me tell you straight away, it depends on the type of crowdfunding. There are many varieties of crowdfunding. What I've just been demonstrating to you is peer-to-peer crowdfunding, which is person-to-person crowdfunding. That type of crowdfunding that you see at GoFundMe is totally legal across the globe, across all 7 continents. I'm allowed to send a donation from me in the UK to somebody in Australia, to somebody in Germany, to somebody in South Africa, to somebody in Belgium. I can send it to whoever I want across the globe. So what I would do personally is do my own research. I don't listen to my friend who has an opinion. He hasn't got the facts. So a good place to go would be Wikipedia. What do they say about crowdfunding? How big is crowdfunding? When you do your research, you'll know, you'll see that in the last 3 years, $34 billion has moved through crowdfunding from person to person. $34 billion in the last 3 years tells you that this is a growing trend, or a growing industry. So I'll tell you now, we are at the forefront of something that I think is absolutely huge. Another key indicator is when you get a platform such as PayPal, well-established payment processor, now involved in crowdfunding. That's a key indicator. There's another well-known platform that hopefully most of you will recognize. And this is Facebook. Facebook actually has its own fundraising page. Every member of Facebook is able to set up their own fundraising page for whatever fundraiser that they would like to do. You'll start to notice more and more people on their birthdays, instead of accepting presents or anything like that, they've set up a page to donate for whatever cause that they want. And what most people don't really get is this, is that on Facebook, it clearly tells you that you are able to raise funds for a personal cause. That personal cause could be that you want to get yourself out of financial debt. The financial debt that's come around because of the financial industry, the banks, the credit cards, all that kind of stuff that actually locks most people into their debt cycle. This is the way, and to me, this is what I can see, is that people are taking control. It's people helping people across the globe. And when the likes of Facebook get involved, you know it's a big deal. So this morning, I want to talk about another platform, another crowdfunding platform. This is the one that's came my way just 2 months ago, and it's called 50/50. So I'm going to go into this in a bit more detail. What I want to do, first of all, is just share with you a 4-minute video. A 4-minute video that's from the company that will give you an idea exactly what this is all about, and then I'll run through it in a bit more detail. So just sit back and enjoy this 4-minute video, and I'll be back with you then.
If you want hundreds or even thousands of dollars immediately delivered to your bank account or front door right now, then please join 50/50 crowdfunding to raise all the funds you need and want for any purpose. 50/50 crowdfunding is the world's first peer-to-peer, fully automated, cooperative crowdfunding system, where you always receive 50%. 50/50 is the first system that rewards both the giver and receiver. And just $29 gets you your very own cooperative crowdfunding system that includes personalized real-time dashboard, personalized sites, tools, and support. A one-time out-of-pocket donation gets you started and allows you to raise all the funds you want for any purpose and receive 50% from all the funds donated by the people you invite. And here's the best part. You immediately receive 50% of every donation in your one-of-a-kind 2x2 Follow Me matrix forever, because there's no middleman and no waiting. To get the most out of 50/50 and keep receiving from now until forever, it's just 3 simple, doable steps to massive success. Step 1, register and become an active donor. Step 2, help 2 or more become active donors. And step 3, help your 2 or more each get 2 or more active donors. That's it. Just 2 who get 2, and that completes your matrix. Then a wonderful thing happens. You're re-entered to receive again without additional effort or qualifications. And that happens because of the one and only Mobius loop, which is proprietary to 50/50. And what that does, that always ensures that you remain with your team. You follow your inviter, and your team follows you. Here's another important point. 100% of every donation is immediately assigned, and 50% always goes to you in your 2x2 matrix. And here's something really exciting. We always have a position for the next person you want to help, because as soon as 6 positions are filled, another one automatically opens up for you to receive 6 more donations. To help you reach your goals faster, there are 5 rewarding receiving levels for you to receive donations. When you donate $250, you'll receive 6 donations of $125 for a total of $750. When you donate $500, you'll receive 6 donations of $250 and receive $1,500 each time you cycle. And when you donate $1,000, you'll receive 6 donations of $500 and receive $3,000 each time you cycle. When you donate $2,000, you receive 6 donations of $1,000 and receive a total of $6,000. And the best part is, when you donate $4,000, you receive 6 donations of $2,000 and receive a total of $12,000 in donations for that level. And remember, you immediately receive 50% of every donation over and over again forever. And the best part is, you can receive donations simultaneously from all levels every minute of every day. And if you cycle just once a month on each level, you'll receive $23,250 every month. So join 50/50 crowdfunding and start receiving funds right now. So click the link for the person who invited you, and let's get busy with it.
Okay, welcome back. Interestingly, on the end of that video, it does say that you register and start receiving funds now. That's just words. But the bottom line is that actually does happen. It can happen. I've seen it happen many a time. So this is a really real special place that we're at here. Now, the CEO of 50/50 crowdfunding is a guy called David T. Rosen. He's a Canadian. He's a forerunner, an expert in the crowdfunding space. He's been doing this since 2002. In fact, he formed a similar program back in 2002, and that is still running today. There are people that donated back in 2002 to his platform that are still receiving donations today, 16 years later. Another key indicator how good this guy has been is that his original program has got over 670,000 members in it across the globe. And between them, they've generated nearly $1 billion in donations from person to person. If you remember from the Wikipedia, we know that the industry itself of crowdfunding over the last 3 years has accumulated $34,000 in the last 3 years. It's taken David 16 years to almost do $1 billion. So it's huge. It's a huge amount. Now, the key thing that I spotted with this is that there was no social media back in 2002. It would have been very difficult to have this spread across the globe. There was no Facebook back then. There was no Twitter or anything back then. Now, in 2018, David is very excited to bring to us 50/50 crowdfunding. This launched on the 4th of October, just over 2 months ago. I was fortunate to see it very after a few weeks it started. In fact, it was made clear to me yesterday when I first saw it, there was only about 500 people involved in it at the time. Today, I know we're touching on 10,000 people involved. Why would that be? Because it's the right time for crowdfunding for the masses, without a doubt. So what I want to do now is just run through a bit more detail of how this crowdfunding platform works and why it's so different to the traditional crowdfunding platforms that I first mentioned, especially something like GoFundMe. 50/50 crowdfunding is the world's first crowdfunding system that allows you to receive half of everything that happens in your donation center. It's based on the world-famous Mobius Loop and System G technology, which is the most successful 2x2 Follow Me donation center in history. Now, when you see how this is formed, the 2x2 Follow Me donation center looks very similar to a 2x2 forced matrix. If you have any knowledge of network marketing or multi-level marketing, you may well have been involved or seen some kind of matrix. Now, I have been in many of them in my time. And they only work if you are fortunate enough to get in at the very top. That's the fact of the matter. You're in at the top and you start to work, you stand a very good chance of doing very, very well. The problem with that, though, is that when people come in later on, they end up losing out. That's the flaw in a 2x2 fixed matrix. What we have here is a 2x2 follow me donation center. That word follow me is crucial here. It uses the software of this Mobius loop. And this software means that as soon as you've completed a 2 who get 2 donation center, you will start a new one. And the new one, you'll be placed underneath somebody else that has just joined. But you don't ever stay at the top. You will float around and you'll follow your sponsor and you'll end up underneath somebody else that may well have only just joined. Whether you've been in 1 month, 12 months, it makes no difference. So the beautiful thing I'm trying to get across here is if somebody starts this today, or if somebody starts this in 12 months' time, they still have the same opportunity. The only difference is that obviously someone that starts today will be getting donations today as opposed to somebody who starts in 12 months' time. That's when they start getting donations. That is the only difference. And this makes this a very, very fair system across the globe. Now, being a 2x2 follow me donation center, so it's only small, 2 people who get 2 people, so a total of 6 people. It means that you're likely to get help within the system from people that fall above you in the system, and you're likely to get help from people that fall just below you in the system. And again, this can happen within seconds, and I've seen this many, many times already in my first 2 months. It can take longer than seconds, it could take a week, it could take months. It just depends on where you fall and who's around you at that time. Now, as I've said already, my background is in multi-level marketing. I've been doing that for 30 odd years. I've tried all sorts of systems, from binary systems to matrices to stair-step breakaways. I have done them all. And in my time, I've built teams of people, some very large, some very small, all working very hard. But the main what's the word I'm looking for? The main way that they would work is I would need to give my money to a company to buy the products at wholesale, and then I would sell it at retail. Or I would give my money to a company so I can offer their services to other people. Or it might be, as in the last 18 months, I've been heavily involved in cryptocurrency. It may be that I would have to give my Bitcoin, my hard-earned Bitcoin, to a company who promised to give me back my Bitcoin plus profit. That all sounds fantastic, but the bottom line is, especially in the cryptocurrency market, I have been let down. I've been let down to the point where I will not give my hard-earned money directly to a company again. So when this came my way, and it was very clear, this is peer-to-peer. So what that means actually is it's person-to-person. So what that means that when I send a donation to somebody, 100% of that donation goes from me directly to that person. It goes directly to that person's bank account, directly to that person's Bitcoin wallet, or directly to that person's PayPal account, however they would like to receive the donation. And better still, every donation that I personally receive from across the globe comes directly to my bank account, comes directly to my PayPal account, comes directly to my Bitcoin wallet. The company, 50/50, do not take anything out of that donation. And that is crucial for this to be legal across the globe. So the question is, well, why would 50/50 do this for a starter? Well, firstly, they provide us with an easy to navigate, totally automated dashboard, or a website if you want. And on that website, I can see exactly who I need to donate to when I register. And I can also see exactly who is about to donate to me, all in real time. Coming from a multi-level marketing background, and this is not multi-level, but even though it is a lot working with people, I knew that it had to be very, very simple. If it's simple, it then becomes very duplicatable. And this is proving to be the case as I speak today in December of 2018. So step one, people would register. They would spend $29 on the main platform, or we've got a $19 level on a lower platform. So we have a couple of choices for people now. Once somebody is registered, they then want to become an active donor straight away. And this is time sensitive. They need to do this straight away. To become an active donor, depending on what level they start, they would send a donation split between 2 people. Now that is the first difference between this and the traditional crowdfunding platforms. If I wanted to help the young lady get to Australia for the Commonwealth Games, I would send a donation from my bank account directly to her bank account through GoFundMe. She would receive 100% of that donation, and that would be the end of it. I would feel good knowing I've helped her go forward. Here, in 50-50 crowdfunding, my donation gets split between 2 people, 50-50. I would send half of that donation to one person directly and half of that donation to the other person directly. I'm now classed as an active donor. Job number 2 for me is to find 2 people who would also like to become active donors like I did. So they would register with the company, $29 to the company for every 6 months, by the way, which works out to be about $5 a month. And then they would send off their donation split between 2 people in the system. It's as simple as that. Their job now is to do exactly what I did, find their own 2 people. Like so. Now that, folks, is a completed donation center. It is no more complicated than that. You are there at the top of your donation center, and because you are an active donor and you have donated to 2 people, you are now qualified to receive donations from people across the globe. And that can be for any cause that you want. In fact, you don't even have to tell people your cause. Interestingly, though, we are going to have a whole new website where people will be able to add their cause, because people like to know what you're raising for. It could be you're raising to get yourself out of debt. It could be for a family member. People like to know. But the beauty of this system is that once you are an active donor, you're eligible to receive donations from across the globe. And within this donation center of your 6 people, you receive 50% of every donation that happens within this donation center. As I say, 50% always goes to you. There are, as I've said already, there are actually 8 different donation center levels. You receive 50% on every single level within the donation centers. It starts as low as $25 and it goes up to as high as $4,000. That's a donation. The $25 donation, you would split that between 2 people. $12.50 would go to one person, $12.50 would go to another person. Same with the $4,000 level. $2,000 goes to one person and $2,000 will go to another person. I want to go through this in a bit more detail, but I'm going to start from level 4 because that will make it a bit quicker. But it's the same for all for the 3 lower levels as well. But level 4, we're talking about the $250 level. So at that point, you would send $125 to one person in the system, and you would send another $125 to another person in the system. Once you've done that, you're then eligible to receive 6 donations in your donation center, each to the value of $125, giving you a total of $750. And if you remember at the very start of this presentation, I told you that I got a handful of people together that all saw what I saw in the 8-minute video. They all said, yep, I'm in. So I'd already registered, I'd already donated my $250 between 2 people. 6 people had actually joined the system in my donation center. All of them donated half to me. $125 from each person came to me. So at the end of that very first day of being involved in this business, I received $750. I've never seen anything work so fast as that in my life. Now, once you've received your $750, you could go, well, thank you very much. I've raised enough. I don't need to do any more. I don't want to do any more. And you could just walk away. Or the smart thing to do is think, well, actually, I want to do that again. So you receive $750 into your bank account, PayPal account, Bitcoin wallet. You would then go and donate $250 back into the system to go and help 2 other people. $125 to one person, $125 to another person. You are then eligible to receive another 6 donations of $125. That's another $750. Once you've received $750, even on the first time around, if you do it again, $250 on level 4, you've still got $500 left. Now, with that $500, the smart thing to do is to use that to go into level number 5. At that level, you would donate half of $500 to one person, so $250 to one person, $250 to another person. Once that's completed and they've received it, they've confirmed in the back office that they've received it, you are then eligible to receive 6 donations of $250, $1,500. It's now getting very interesting. This can happen very, very quickly. With that $1,500, you might go, thank you very much. I don't want to do that again. I've raised enough what I wanted, and that's the end of that. Or you might think, well, I'm going to put 500 of that $1,500 back into level 5 again, to do that whole thing again. I will donate $250 to 2 different people in this donation center, and then I'm eligible to receive another 6 donations of $250. Now, bear in mind that level 4 would also still be running itself, a completely separate donation center. So on this occasion, what I'm showing you here is you're looking at receiving 12 donations, 6 at $125 and 6 at $250, all going on at the same time. And again, on level 5, you've still got $1,000 left in your bank account, PayPal wallet or Bitcoin wallet. And again, the smart thing to do with that is to use that to get yourself up to level 6. So this is no more out of pocket. You decide where you start, and from there you work your way up. Simple as that. Level 6, $1,000 level. 500 will go to one person, 500 will go to another person. You're then eligible to receive 6 donations of $500, $3,000 total. It's now becoming very serious, to the point where it makes a serious change in people's lives. This continues up to level 7 and the top level, which would be level 8, the $4,000 level. At this level, you would send $2,000 to one person, $2,000 to another person. Now, firstly, could you imagine receiving a donation of $2,000 straight to your PayPal account, straight to your Bitcoin wallet, straight to your bank account? This is happening across the globe. Once you've done that, you are then eligible to receive 6 donations of $2,000. That's a massive $12,000. And this can happen over and over and over again. It's not a one-time deal. It's huge. In fact, if you're on level 8, you're also going to be on level 7, level 6, level 5, level 4, level 3, level 2, and level 1. You'll have donations coming in from every single level. And every time you've completed a donation center, you're then going to start again underneath somebody else that may well have only just joined this platform. So you're now going to be supporting that brand new person. You are now going to send a donation to that brand new person. Very, very fair for everybody, not just the people at the top making money. What I'm showing you here is a quick animation showing you how the donations would flow, just as an example. So there you are at the top of your donation center. You've already donated your $250 to 2 people in the system. You are now an active donor. You've introduced your first person. Your first person is registered with the company, $29. They're about to send half of their $250 donation to you, because you are the top of your donation center, and the other half would go to somebody above you. The second person that you've introduced would donate half to you, and half would go above you. Now you can see straight away, you there at the top of your donation center have received 2 donations of $125. You've just received $250 back that you donated out in the first place. Number 1, I want to do the same thing. He'll introduce his first person. He'll receive $125, and $125 would float up to you. Number 2 will get going. He'll introduce his first person and becomes an active donor. $125 would go to that person, and $125, because this is your donation center, would float up to you. Number 2 brings on his second person. He'll receive his second $125, and $125 would float up to you. Now, number 2 has just received his second donation. He's now had a total of $250. He's a happy chappy. He's had his money back as well. Number 1 gets going with his second person. He'll receive his second donation of $125. And again, $125 will float up to you, because you are the head of your donation center. Now that, folks, is a completed donation center. You've received 6 donations at this level of 125. So from there, you can say, thank you very much. I don't want to do that again. Or, oh, that was good. I will do that again. I'm happy to donate $250 out of my $750 to 2 people again and do this all over again. You'll have 6 empty spots and people will fall into those spots again, and they'll start to donate to you again and to the people above you again. The flow of donations I'm showing you here works exactly the same for every single level, whether it be the $25 level. So these donations would be half, so it'd be $12.50, or whether it's the top level, level 8, the $4,000 level, these donations will be $2,000. It works exactly the same way. That is as simple as this business is, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll stop sharing the screen now, and we'll just run through some of the usual questions that I get every single day. So bear with me as I get everybody. Wow, a lot more people on here now. Welcome, everybody. I'm prepared to actually answer any questions that anybody has, especially if it's general about the whole platform, how it works. But what I can tell you straight away is that I've only been in eight weeks myself, so I'm very new myself. But already I've seen how this is changing people's lives. I'm witnessing people able to clear small debts from the donations that they're receiving. In fact, I have cleared small debts thanks to this system already. So I know how this will change lives across the globe. So the first question you will get as soon as you start to talk to anybody about this, the first thing they will say to you is, that is illegal, you're not allowed to do that. And what I would say is, hopefully you've seen from the very beginning of the presentation, that I can see all of Australia now. From the very beginning of the presentation, that when you had the likes of PayPal, you had the likes of Facebook, the likes of GoFundMe, all mean that people can donate to people across the globe, across their platform. You know that it is legal across the globe. And not only that, my sponsor, I don't think he's on the call, but my sponsor, his very good friend is a lawyer, or a solicitor as we call him in the UK. He went to his solicitor and said, look, I need your legal advice. I want you to investigate, have a deeper look at what's happening with 50/50 and tell me, is it legal? Am I allowed to do this across the globe? The first thing the solicitor said to him, which is what I said earlier on, is there are different types of crowdfunding. What type of crowdfunding are we talking about? He was told it's peer-to-peer. He said, well, that actually, I already know that is legal across the globe, but I'll go away and I'll get you the documentation, which is exactly what he did. So we had somebody legal, went away, came back with the evidence to show that it is 100% legal to send donations across the globe from person to person. We have that in our Facebook group. If you're not part of our Facebook group, reach out to the person that's invited you today to find the link to get yourself in the Facebook group so you can have a look and have a read for yourself what's going on globally. Not only did that solicitor come back with the right information that yes, it's legal, he actually joined 50/50. So when my mate down the road tells me that's illegal, I say, sorry, it's totally legal. That's the first question that everybody will get. The next thing that people will think is not right is that people can raise donations for personal use. That's why I added the slide there today from Facebook. That in fact, after this call, if you go to Facebook in the search engine, type in the word fundraiser, and then you scroll to the bottom of Facebook's fundraising page, you'll see that same slide that I've shown you this morning. It says fundraising for personal use. So people are allowed to fundraise for personal use. It's just that it's very different, it's very new, and people are used to raising for charities. They're not used to raising for personal use. But bottom line is, you have to get yourself in a strong position before you can help other people. That's my own feeling. That's what I think where we're at with that. So that's on that side of it as well. So we can raise money for personal use. Within 50/50, it's clear that we have to try and introduce 2 people. That is the name of the game, because then the whole thing just blossoms. If somebody doesn't introduce anybody, they are still eligible to receive, as long as they've donated in the first place, they're still eligible to receive a maximum of 6 donations in any donation centre that they have donated to in the first place. To me, I think that's a very fair position that the company have allowed. Because the idea is, obviously, the more this is spread across the globe, the more people are helping. Now, the reason that the CEO, David T. Rosen, wants this to help as many people as possible. He has said on record that in 2000 or 2001, he was homeless. He was right at the bottom himself with his great ideas. By 2003, he was a multi-millionaire. He started his first platform in 2002, which is a huge success. 670,000 members. We're currently just short of 10,000 members. Everybody that's seeing this today is seeing this at the right time for sure. This is spreading across the globe. So those really are the main questions that I get every single day. If anybody has any other question that you'd like to ask, especially if it's a general question, then I'm happy to answer it if I can. If I can't, then I'll try and get it answered. Hi, Blessing, have you got a question?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
Yeah, when you showed us the slide, the 4-minute video, it said if you sponsor 2 people, if you donate to 2 people, you get 6 donations back. How does that work?
Well,
Doesn't really make sense, does it?
Okay. Well, hopefully when I go to in detail, you hear me say, once you have donated to 2 people, you will then qualify to receive 6 donations within your donation centre. But it may take time for you to have 6 people in your donation centre, but you are qualified to receive the donations from that donation centre. It may be that you refer 2 people that are in your donation centre. Those 2 people will eventually refer their own 2 people. So now you have 6 people. As long as you're an active donor, which you would have been because you would have first donated, you're then eligible to receive the 6 donations in your donation centre. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Any other questions?
Hi, Colin.
Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering, my name's Linda Bagovitz.
Hi, Linda.
I just sort of going into this now, unprepared sort of thing and that. There was such a big thing about Bitcoin, like fluctuating, and to me it's like anything like stock take and sales and all that sort of it fluctuates. Like, what's making this going to be any better sort of thing? That's my question.
Great question. The first thing that I looked at when I looked into it deeply is the CEO. Firstly, he has another platform, as I've said, that's been running for 16 years. So that gives me the confidence that he knows what he's doing when it comes to crowdfunding. Now, crowdfunding itself as an industry, as I've already said, is growing over the last 3 years to 34 billion. It's a growing industry. And the reason I believe it's growing is that the financial industry, the way we would get money from banks for loans or whatever is hard. The banks cannot afford to lend anymore. So we have to find a different way. Usually what people would do is they end up having more than one job. That have two jobs or maybe 3 jobs just to try and survive. So outside of getting 2 or 3 jobs, most people would go into a home-based business. And in the last 30 years, that home-based business is usually a multi-level marketing business. Now, I can remember 30 years ago when I was a young lad, very excited about multi-level marketing. I had many people put it down. I had many people tell me, oh, that multi-level marketing, that's not a real business. That won't last. It's too different to the traditional businesses that people were used to. Yeah. What you'll see now with crowdfunding is that people will mock it. People will tell you that that's not real because you can't just receive donations from people across the globe. The point is, yes, you can. And the point is that the whole idea of communities helping each other has been going on for generations. Before we used to have mortgages for homes, communities would get their money together and build a house, get their money together and build another house. In
Yeah.
fact, I know my generations, my parents' generations, they would always club their money together, and then one of them would have that money 1 month. Then they club it together another month, somebody else gets the money. So that kind of thing has been going on for years. That is people helping people. What I see now with 50/50 and crowdfunding in general, it's grown at a mad rate because of social media. The beauty of social media is that, like we are now, we are one huge community all across the globe.
No, I was just wondering, a couple of my friends also said that it's illegal in Australia. Like,
Okay.
how true is that? Like, they're skeptical, which is understandable.
Okay. What I would say to them is, well, we have the legal evidence to show it's actually legal. In fact, ask them again, what type of crowdfunding are they referring to?
Okay.
What they are actually referring to is financial investors, which may well be illegal. But we're not talking about any investors. This is peer-to-peer. I'm able to send money from me directly to you if I choose to, legally. Okay? So that's the difference. So always remember, people always have an opinion, but it doesn't mean it's actually correct. It's definitely not correct. So we always have to look a bit deeper ourselves, and we get the right answers. Okay?
There is a question in the chat box.
Why is this not a Ponzi?
Oh, well, tell me why it is a Ponzi, first of all. When someone says to that, why is it not a Ponzi? I say to them, tell me why you think it's a Ponzi.
What's a Ponzi? Like,
There you go.
Because peer-to-peer, like, I don't understand exactly.
Don't worry. Well, the bottom line is somebody will say to you it's a Ponzi. What I say to them is, tell me what's a Ponzi.
God, I'm not stupid, but yeah.
No, I know, I know, but we all get the same thing said. So when somebody says to you, it's a Ponzi, I say to them, tell me what's a Ponzi.
Yeah.
What is the definition of a Ponzi? Can you please
That's
explain
what I'll say to them. Now,
what's the definition of a Ponzi? Can you please explain it to me?
Ask them to explain, because they won't actually know. And the bottom line, to give you the confidence, just know that there are lots of platforms that have been out there for years where people can donate to each other. It's nothing illegal, just because there's no physical product. Actually, the physical product within 50/50 is we pay a license to use their software. We pay $29 every 6 months, $5 a month. That's what we're paying for.
Morning, everyone. I just wanted to ask, when you cycle out with the 6 and you re-enter, do you then have to invite new people to come in underneath you?
Great question. Thank you, Jennifer. Now, the beauty of the system is that you don't actually have to invite new people. As long as you have 2 people at every level. Now, this is what could happen. Somebody could start at the very lowest level, $25. They find 2 people that have $25 that also want to benefit from this. So they join. They'll receive $75 once they've received their 6 donations at that level, which is $12.50 times 6, $75. They could use that $75 to go 25 into the lower one again and use $50 to go into the next level up. So their 2 people would follow them into the next level up. They're now qualified at the $50 level because they've got 2 people they've personally introduced at the $50 level. Same would happen at the $150 level. They can have 2 people that follow them. So it could be the same 2 people that follow you all the way through the system, from the start right to the very top at the $4,000 level. Now, you want to have 2 people personally introduced at every level so that you're qualified for life on that level. Okay. If you haven't got 2 people qualified on any level, then it means you're only ever going to be able to receive donations of a maximum of 6 at that level. You won't be able to do it again until you've qualified to do it again. So that's when you've already introduced 2 people at that level.
So that's where I'm a little bit confused.
Okay.
Because what I need to fully understand is this. I invite 2 people. I go in at 250.
Yeah.
I invite 2 people at 250.
Yeah. You are now qualified for life. You qualify for life.
Help each one of those to invite 2 more at 250. So we've got the 6.
Yeah.
Now I cycle out.
Yeah.
I take 5 from what I've just gathered, and I start again at 5.
At 500 level.
Right. Now, I don't invite 2 people at 500. That's
well,
what I need.
Okay, once you go into the $500 level,
Yes.
you donated to 2 people in the $500 level, you're then eligible to receive donations in that level. So as soon
Right,
as
but do I invite people in that after me?
you can do, yes, you can do, but also
Is that
don't
what
forget.
I'm expected to do, though? That's what I need. Is
Okay,
that
well,
what is expected of me?
firstly, because it's only a 2x2, people could actually fall into your donation center from above you. Even though you
From
don't know them, they can actually fall into your donation level, and then they're
From
going
somebody else inviting them?
to from above you, because you will when you go into the $500 level, you're going to go in underneath somebody else, probably your sponsor or somebody else. So whenever now you can just slot it straight in there. They'll bring somebody else in who goes underneath you. So they're now going to donate half of their $500 to you. So you'll receive $250 from somebody you don't know. Okay. Now, hopefully your 2 people from the lower level will do what you've just done, and they will follow you into the $500 level. So you've got 2 people you've personally introduced as part of your 6. You are now qualified for life at that $500 level.
Okay, another question.
Yeah.
I go in at 250.
Yeah.
Somebody underneath me want to come in at 25. How does that work?
They can do. They can do. They're still linked to you. Now, if you're not in the $25 level yourself, then it means you won't earn the donation at that level.
Okay.
Okay.
So will there then be positioned with somebody who can? Because not everybody can afford 250. Some
That's
can
right.
only afford 25.
That's right. They would just fall into the next available spot in a $25 donation center. Probably if your sponsor's in the $25 level center, they'll fall into your sponsor's donation center because you're not in there. So if you're looking at starting at the 250, fantastic, because that's how I started. That's a good move. But I'd also have the lower ones as well, just so nothing passes you. I know it's only small, but I still want the donations up there myself personally. So the 250, and we just go up from there. Does that make sense?
And 2 more questions. I'll be quick about that.
That's okay. Go for it.
For somebody who comes in at oh crumbs, I forgot my question now. It'll come back to me. For those people who come in at the 25 or a lower level, right? Does it take them longer to cycle through? Are they automatically? Oh, there's my question. How are people positioned? Is there some sort of automatic positioning system, or are you responsible for positioning those persons?
Great question. I'm happy to tell you that it's all done automatically. That way, nobody can actually try and fiddle the system. Great. Everything is, again, this being 16 years old, he's been through everything. He knows how people will try and manipulate the actual system. And just on that point, there's no point somebody having more than one spot. All you ever need is one main spot for yourself. If you want to help somebody else, then help them with the donations that you personally receive. There's no point you starting a spot for somebody else and then have to work underneath that person as well, because you've given yourself twice as much work to do because you've got 2 spots to look after, if that makes sense. Okay. So because people will think, oh, I know what I'll do, I'll join, I'll get my wife involved, and the wife doesn't want to do anything. That's a waste of time and energy. You're better off holding the one spot and giving your wife half of the donations that you receive from that one spot. You get more value. And obviously with the software, your team follow your main spot. Okay. If your partner wants to build their own business, that's absolutely fine as well. Then obviously you want to bring them in as well. If they're happy to get on and build their own, great, that'll work. Now, another question that you didn't ask that always comes up as well. What happens if I start at the 250 level, I share this with somebody, and they want to start at the $500 level? Right. What happens then? Well, because the main thing is you introduce them, so the good thing is they're always going to follow you. You never lose them. What you would lose in this instance, if somebody starts higher than you, is the donation at the $500 level would float past you because you're not qualified to receive that donation. Oh. Okay? Now that's, okay, you've lost a donation there. So you want to try and stay ahead of your team all the time. That's where we're at. I personally don't want to lose any donations, so I will get to the top as fast as I can. That's just my nature. But the bottom line is, if somebody did overtake me, it's not a big deal. I've lost a donation. As soon as I qualify at that same level myself, I'll then start to receive the donations at that level. Because people, as you'll see, are cycling all the time. You finish 6, you start another one underneath somebody else, there's another donation coming to you. And the more people you introduce, the more people are following you through the system, the more donations you're going to receive. Yes, and again, remember the key thing for this being legal across the globe is that 50/50 do not touch any of our donations. Every donation you send goes 100% directly to that person. Every donation we receive comes directly to us, into our bank account, our Bitcoin wallet, our PayPal account, our money transfer, wherever they're called, Western Union, however you looking to receive it.
Okay, sorry. One more question, Colin.
Okay.
So when I cycle out with the 6,
yeah,
and I recommence,
yeah,
the first 6 will still be able to send donations to me.
They won't need to. They've already sent it to you. You only get one donation per donation center.
Right.
When they follow you into your new donation center, they will then donate to you again.
Okay. Yeah. You see, that's where I'm. So those first 6 people, how do they follow me when I've moved over to starting again? I'm a little bit confused with all of that.
Only your direct people, so people you've personally referred.
Yeah.
They will always follow you. Now, they are the head of their own donation center. So as soon as their donation center has 6 people in it and they've received the total maximum donations at that level, they're ready to start another donation center underneath somebody else. But they'll follow you and they'll fall into the next available spot in your donation center. Now, this could be somebody that you just introduced as absolutely brand new, that's just joined at that level. Those other people who are experienced now come back in underneath that brand new person.
Okay. So each person will automatically be told from the with the system who to send their donations to?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's like nothing I have seen before, and as I said already, I've been involved in multi-level for over 30+ years. It's like nothing I've seen before. And I think
like you're going to get some stars in here.
It will help a lot of people across the globe for sure. It already is. Okay, any other questions? I've got no questions in the group.
Thank you.
Right, Wayne, this is legal across the whole globe. There's nothing worse than you building up a business with a company that then disappear. And I've had it happen many, many times before. All of my money just disappears with that company. It's a trust element. Here, with David, with his experience, I know if they go down today, he's going to go down with $29 of mine. That's it. That's all the money I give to the company is the license fee. That is it. Every other donation I send goes directly to the person, the same as every other crowdfunding platform. So somebody, and actually, I don't mind saying, in less than 2 months, or around about 2 months, I have sent over $14,000 in donations directly from my account directly to somebody else's personal account. $14,000 in 2 months. The beauty of that is I know that every single cent of that donation has gone to help somebody. Can't get better than that. 100% of it has gone to somebody. I've obviously received donations as well because I'm very active, a lot more than that. And in 2 months, that's unheard of in a home-based business. Especially when you start, as I've already said, I started at $250 level.
I've just want to touch on the ladies have been asking about questions about the people who follow them. Just correct me if I'm wrong. What they need to be aware of as well, that every time the people they've invited, when they cycle their matrix, if they go on to open another one, every time they open another 2x2 matrix, they have to come to them. They have to donate money to them as well. Every time they start their own metrics, whether it's on 250 or 25 level, they still have to come back to them and donate. Is that right?
Correct. The only thing I would change on your vocabulary is the word matrix, because people
Okay.
assume matrix is a fixed matrix and people at the top are making money. That's why I constantly try to use the word donation center, because it is different. It's not a matrix. I know even in America they keep saying matrix, but it's not a matrix, and that confuses people. They assume a matrix is stuck and everyone at the top makes the money and everybody down the bottom doesn't make any money. What we have here is a donation center that flows around. Once you complete your donation center, you start another one underneath somebody else. That's a huge, huge difference. But what you just said is bang on right. Every single time people you've personally introduced complete a donation center, they're going to start another one somewhere, and they will follow you and fall into your next available spot in your latest donation center. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Before I was using the terminology of earning, and now I'm using receiving. So that's my next one. I'll stop using matrix and use donation center. I'm getting there.
Great, thank you.
The famous Mobius loop.
It is I mean, the other thing about the Mobius loop is that David has a patent on it. Nobody else has this software. Nobody else can do what we're doing. They can try and copy it, but they haven't got. This software costs $8 million apparently. If you can, just do some research on the owner. I don't mind saying about the owner. This guy, his first program is 16 years old. This is not the only thing he's done. He's had other programs that have failed. I don't mind people knowing that, because he has. The last two he's done this year have failed. But to me, as an entrepreneur, but to me as an entrepreneur, I look at the latest one now. I look at 50-50 and I say to myself, is that going to fail? Or do I think, is that going to succeed? It's already closing on 10,000 people. I can see this is working big time. He believes it'd be 10 times bigger than his original program. So we are in the right place at the right time with the right platform that he's put together.
The original, which is 16 years old.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I saw the American Zoom call, and David talked about the Mobius loop and the system, and he told that it was $8 million that he pays for it.
Yeah, correct.
So
good stuff. So we're in the right place. Okay, thank you all for your time.